Hey guys, this is FireSkull 19 and welcome to another fanfic reading. Today we're going to be reading a fanfic that I was going to do, but I ended up losing track because I am making fanfics myself. I only copied and pasted it in Notepad, whatever I use. So I just called it a rape fic. It is a Flowers Ponies fanfic. Oh, before I do all that, happy holidays, everyone. And this is going to be a little treat for you guys. If you can even call this a treat, I'm going to call this a piece of shit. But we'll see. So, like I said, it's called a rape fic. It's got the flower ponies in it, and the title pretty much says it all. But I'm going to read it to you guys right now. Let's get started. It was the same every time. Whenever there was a full moon, Lily wouldn't answer her door, nor set up her flower stall. When Roseluck had asked her about it, she claimed to be visiting relatives in Philadelphia. Clever, by the way. Or to be suffering from temporary deafness, or to have been trying to get some bird droppings out of her mane. There's no of in there. Or that she had been held captive by a mutant plant in her basement. I get the feeling that part was pretty much a Rocky Horror... No, wait. Little Shop of Horrors reference. I'm just saying, you know. And had only just managed to escape from its leafy clutches and destroy it. And destroyed it. Each month, the excuses became more and more elaborate, and less believable. Roseluck knew something fishy, and she even joked with her other friend Daisy that Lily might be some kind of werepony. Okay. But whatever it was driving Roseluck to distraction. She decided that she had to discover Lily's secret, no matter what, and, as luck would have it, tonight was the first night of a full moon. She made her way to Lily's room, a cozy one-story cottage surrounded by a well-kept and vividly colorful rose garden. At the outskirts of Ponyville, next to the Everfree Forest, she hid herself in some bushes and sat waiting, staring at Lily's door. She wasn't sure if Lily was home, but couldn't think of a way of checking without giving away her presence. So she decided to risk it and hunker down. After over an hour of nothing, Roseluck was just about ready to give up through boredom when the door opened and Lily cantered out. The pink pony glanced furtively around, making sure no one was watching her, and then made her way into the Everfree Forest. Roseluck hesitated. She had never been in the forest before, and had heard all kinds of strange beasts and monsters dwelt in the unnatural darkness. Why in Equestria would Lily go in there? And there's no question mark, by the way. So confident and nonchalant, Roseluck gulped and then followed, walking gently and carefully a good distance. Actually, there was a question mark after nonchalant, so I just made an idiot out of myself. I apologize for that. Behind her friend, so as not to give herself away. She felt a chill in her spine as some unknown bird began cawing, and felt weaker with each step. It became harder and harder for her to put one hoof in front of the other. The deeper they penetrated the dark wood, but she carried on regardless. It was terrifying, even scarier than when that stampede of rabbits had rampaged through Ponyville. Lovely! But she just had to find out where Lily was going and what she was up to. She followed for a good half an hour until up ahead lay a cave, its interior shrouded in absolute darkness. Lily paused for the mouth of the cave, and then entered, disappearing from Roseluck's view. Roseluck proceeded nervously. unsettled by her surroundings and that she had, momentarily at least, lost sight of Lily. She stopped when she reached the entrance and took a deep breath. She then furrowed her brow and plunged into the darkness, moving slowly, reaching out her front hooves to check for any obstructions in her path with each step. After several minutes of painstakingly slowly walking, she stopped and turned her head. The light of the entrance seemed so far away. "Lily, are you there?" The words echoed through the cave, and no response came. Whatever Lily's purpose had been in coming into her, Roseluck wasn't going to be able to see it for herself. "Lily," she tried one more time, but once again there was no reply. She sighed and started to head back towards the cave entrance. As she did, she thought she heard muffled footsteps and breathing close to her. Something else was in the cave. Roseluck froze, her heart pounding so hard that it threatened to burst through her chest. And it listened. More scraping, scrabbling footsteps and a quiet sigh. What if it's a monster, she thought, feeling panic rising within her. Oh, Celestia, what if it's hurt Lily? Or worse, what if it gobbled her up for starters and I'm the main course? She prepared herself to gallop, but then stopped, not wanting to leave Lily. Excuse me for a sec. Never thought I would do this in a video, but I'm mighty thirsty right now. And that's somber. Okay. As she tried to decide what to do, she felt a sharp pain, as though a pin had been inserted into her flank. Lovely. She let out a startled gasp and tried to run. But after a few seconds, her eyes started to droop, and she was overcome by dizziness and whatever. She made it only a few feet before simply putting one hoof in front of the other became a massive effort. A horrible high-pitched snickering filled the cave, guttural and mocking, full of intent and malice. Roseluck then blacked out completely, unable to cling on to wakefulness any longer, and collapsed heavily on the cave floor. I will admit this is starting to actually go decent, but I'm afraid it'll get bad. When Roseluck awoke, the first thing she saw was a stallion with an orange mane and yellow coat. This sounds like an OC to me. Lying before her, dead. Not dead. She was still breathing, shallow, restless snores. Sleeping, she hauled herself to her hooves and took stock of her surroundings. She was still in the cave, or at least a cave, and she was in a wooden cage. She shook her head, feeling deeply confused. She was in the blackness, and then there was the pain, and then... Oh my god. Oh my god, I hate when this happens. Okay. I'm sorry, people. I should really start thinking before I decide to record this. I didn't really know this was going to happen. Whatever. Anyways. Roseluck gulped. Roseluck, I'm so glad you finally awoken, you sleepyhead. Now, this is now starting to turn to a bad hot sauce fanfic. What is hot sauce now in another account going to try and ruin the flower ponies? This is turning bad, people. Roseluck gulped. She knew that voice. Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, he was just saying Merry Christmas to me. Okay. She turned her head and there stood... Roseluck gulped. She knew that voice. She turned her head and there stood Lily outside the cage, staring at her with an amused smirk. Roseluck frowned. It was Lily, only not. She looked strangely different. I guess she's Maka with going insane. Sure. Oh, and that's from Soul Eater, by the way. Fucking love that anime. She looked strangely different. Her eyes were red rather than their usual gold. Lily, what's going on? Come on, let me out of this cage. You're going nowhere, Rose looked, she smiled, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. Oh my god, she's turning into a demon, ooh! Yeah, I know, my acting sucks, but I'm trying. I saw you lurking outside my house, spying on me, so I decided to punish you for your nosiness by luring you in here to be my, shall we say, livestock. She licked her lips. Oh god. Is this lesbian rape? If so, oh god. This is where it's gonna get creepy now, fellas. You're young and healthy. Oh yes, you'll do nicely. Creepy. Okay, Okay, this is getting annoying, so I'm just gonna put myself on busy. Which is something I should have done in the first place. Yes, I can believe it. Okay. Roseluck felt a terror rising through her. Livestock? What was that supposed to mean? And what an equestrian had happened to you, to the Lily she knew? I don't understand. What are you? Why am I here? I am a Marin... whatever. Lily said. See ya. Unfurling a pair of leathery bat-like wings. So, she's a vampire. Okay, this is now starting to turn into a pony version of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Only difference is, I bet it's gonna be as bad. Only difference is, I would probably rather watch Bram Stoker's Dracula, which, by the way, is probably one of the best movies to ever actually come out, even today. Most of the time, I am a normal pony, but every full moon, I become this. I feast on Wait a minute. Wait. In most of the Dracula movies that I have seen, when the sun starts to arise, Dracula or Alucard usually go back into their coffins. This is something new, like she's a normal pony and then yet at moonlight she becomes a vampire. This is actually badly done because, well, this is something that werewolf would have, not Dracula or Pony Law, whatever. I know, that was horrible. I feast on creatures of the forest, on the entrails of ponies, then get lost in the woods. But I find such mediocre fare so unsatisfying, it's not what I truly crave. She looked hungrily at Roseluck. Creepy! That's why I brought you here. You can nourish me in ways that mere pony guts can't. Lily glanced at the stallion, who was rousing from his drugged stupor, whatever. It won't be long until you and your new friend become acquainted. Roseluck looked at the stallion. She had almost forgotten he was there. Pretty much because he was just mentioned once, it was never mentioned again until Lily showed up. But as he rose and blinked, she quickly grew very much aware of his presence. He looked at her with longing lust and wordless approached. Hey, what are you doing? Roseluck said, backing away as the stallion moved forward, his eyes filled of wanton desire. She caught sight of his erect penis, oh god, and looked desperately at Lily. Oh, this is Brayburn. What? Are you kidding me? Oh. To those who have watched some of the episodes of My Little Pony may know who Brayburn is. Let's just continue on. I do know who he is, but I've never seen the episode that he was included in. but I am aware of who he is. I fed him an aphrodisiac potion along with the sleeping draft when I found him wandering the Everfree Forest all by himself. Silly pony. Wouldn't he be busy in that other place? I forgot what it's called, but you know what I mean. I had to ensure that when he woke up, he would be solely focused on sating his carnal desires. Don't resist, Roseluck. Make it easier on yourself. Roseluck backed up until she was pressed against the bars of the cage, and tears swelled up in her eyes. No, please no, she murmured. Help! Help! Lily laughed and rolled her eyes. Wee 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 wee! Yeah, I thought I'd make that. Oh, come on. No pony's going to hear you scream here. Brayburn used his superior strength and turned her around. So I guess he's in the cage with her? Okay. He mounted her. Thanks! Oh! Forcing his penis into her pussy. Okay. Holding her with vice-like grip against the bars of the cage. Roseluck sobbed and pleaded as Brayburn relentlessly pounded inside of her. Obviously, to everything going on around him, Lily watched, laughing and stamping her hooves. Oh, please, no, stop, Lily said mockingly as Roseluck continued to cry and moan and weep with each thrust of Brayburn's hips. Oh, I'm picturing it. It's fucking horrible. She was so overwhelmed with fear and bewilderment and revulsion that she lost the ability to resist, and just hoped that Brayburn would finish soon and that the nightmare would be over with. For another 5 minutes, Brayburn continued until his warm load gushed out profusely inside of Roseluck. He withdrew, panting happily, and looked with a look of blissful relief on his face. Roseluck curled herself into a ball, weeping and shuddering, feeling sickened and crushed as some of Brayburn's semen escaped her vagina and dribbled down her leg. Poor girl. Brayburn was still in a sex-crazed trance. Within minutes, his penis was once again swollen, and he eyed the cowering Roseluck with lust. He walked back over to her and lifted her, impaling her on his cock again. She barely even acknowledged what was happening. It was a nightmare. She was going to wake up soon. Don't worry, don't worry. Nothing to be afraid of. Just a nightmare, just a nightmare. Soon Brayburn came again. Less this time, but still plentiful. Okay. But some of the warm liquid spilt out and dribbled onto the floor. Roseluck felt as though her heart had been torn out. Her pussy felt shredded and sore. And when she turned and looked, there was blood intermingled with the semen dripping out. She retched and pressed herself into one of the corners of the cage as tight as she could. Brayburn had fallen back into some sort of stupor, with his eyes closed and a satisfied smile on his face, and Roseluck sensed that the ordeal was over, for now at least. Days had passed since Roseluck's imprisonment, maybe weeks, possibly even months, in the cave, with the only light being a perpetually burning torch. It was difficult to tell. Every now and then Lily would come and bring food and water. Most of the time her eyes and teeth were black to normal, but she remained silent and avoided eye contact with Roseluck at all costs. Staying out to watch them eat and them leaving quickly, Brayburn's food was drugged, keeping him in a permanently suggestible and aroused state. And after every feeding, he would force himself on Roseluck and repeatedly rape her. How fucking colorful is this so far? As colorful as beating myself with a stick. That's how colorful this piece of shit is. Roseluck had come to dread mealtimes, for she knew what was inevitably follow. On one occasion, she had even tried to take Brayburn's drug laced hay and throw it out of the cage. Lily had told Brayburn to beat her, and he did, viciously. Her face was still bruised, and she never tried it again. Fucking horrible this is! Why would people write shit like this? This feels like something that an insane fucking maniac would write. After a while, Roseluck noticed her period had stopped and her belly had begun to swell. Every so often, she felt terribly sick, even more sick than usual, and the awful realization dawned. She was pregnant. Oh, fucking beautiful! It was inevitable, oh really. But the possibility hadn't even occurred to her. That didn't stop Brayburn, though, who continued to rape her relentlessly. Oh, God! So pretty much he's killing the baby inside her. Oh, fuck! This is horrible, man! Who writes shit like this? However, when Lily noticed her bulge, she stopped giving Brayburn the drug. Well, at least she's being smart this time! Thus, after several months, he finally came out of his stupor. Where in Equestria am I? He said, looking around. He saw Roseluck. Hey there, he frowned, when she cringed, looking at him with disgust. Hey, don't worry, I ain't gonna hurt ya. Roseluck stared at him with amazement. He wasn't lurching forward, his eyes filled with lust. He sounded kind. The beast, the monster from our nightmares, standing there looking so confused and innocent and kind. Maybe Lily had forgotten to administer his drug. Whatever the situation, Roseluck felt deeply conflicted. She knew it wasn't Brayburn's fault, but even so, he still terrified her utterly. What is this? Some kind of cave? He took in his surroundings, completely baffled. And you're pregnant! He was still somewhat dozy from the after effects of the drug, and seemed more curious about everything that worried or scared. Roseluck gulped and answered, yes. Right. Well now, this is more strange. I was just having a walk in the woods, and then I wake up in a cage with a pregnant mare. Oh, hell. Applejack and Big Mac are gonna be wondering where the hay I've got to. I'm Brayburn, by the way. What's your name? Roseluck? You know Applejack and Macintosh? Know 'em? Why, they're my cousins. Oh, there's a nice little history. There's a nice little fact. Roseluck breathed deeply. I don't really know how to tell you this, but we've been in here for a long time. Brayburn's eyes widened. How long? Months, I think. She looked at her belly. Yes, it must be months. But I just woke up. I certainly hadn't been here for months. Roseluck sighed and told him how he had been constantly drugged, how he had repeatedly raped her, how the little foal in her belly was his. Brayburn shook his head, and then vomited copiously as a sickly smell filled the cave. He stared in disbelief. And you know what? I don't blame the guy! What kind of an asshole drugs someone and gets him to rape an innocent pony? That's fucking sick! No way! No. That's just... Oh, Celestia, I did all that to you? Oh my, I guess sorry won't cut it, but I truly, deeply sorry. Sorry as any pony could possibly be. I had no idea. Roseluck smiled slightly. At least fucking Brayburn's actually decent as fucking shit heap. It was the first time she had smiled in a very long time. She actually felt sorry for him. And you know what? I actually feel sorry for them as well. This is horrible. The poor pony, discovering he had done all that without his knowledge. It was, for course, nowhere near as bad as what Roseluck had endured, but even so, she couldn't help but feel sympathy. And I can't help but feel sympathy either, because it isn't his fault. He's the one who gets drugged. If you get drugged, you can't do anything about it. So, I wouldn't specifically blame it on Brayburn. I would just blame it all on Lily. And this is all out of Lily's character I forgot to mention. And I love it, because she's saying what I'm saying. It wasn't your fault. I don't blame you. Oh, God. I hope it's almost over, because this is torture. This is literally torture, people. Let's just continue. A few days later, Lily came with the food and drinks as usual. She sat there, watching Brayburn and Roseluck eating. Once they had finished, they noticed that rather than hurrying off, Lily had stayed and was looking at them with Roseluck wasn't sure, but it looked like desire. Or hunger? Either way, she found it somewhat unsettling. Roseluck lay down, facing away from Lily, hoping that she would go away. Lily strolled around the cage, back into Roseluck's line of sight. Roseluck tried to stand up, but found that she was unable to move any of her limbs. She tried to cry out in surprise, but only a guttural squeak came out, as her mouth wouldn't follow the instructions her mind gave them. She tried to move again, but nothing happened. She was completely paralyzed. She looked at Lily, who was grinning with satisfaction. Ah, good, you are both completely incapacitated. I was worried. I hadn't put in enough of the drug, or maybe too much. Her eyes flashed red, and she revealed the rows of dagger teeth. At least it is time for me to feed properly. You don't know how much I've been looking forward to this. Lily's tongue emerged from her mouth like a snake, weaving and edging its way through the bars of the cage towards Roseluck. The unnatural process grew even longer, and Roseluck watched with horror as its slimy wetness flopped against the numb thigh, and then slithered his ways towards her vagina. No! No! You did not! You did not do what I think you're about to do! Oh, God! And the feeling of abject horror rose as it pushed its way between the swollen lips of her labia, and slipped inside her, past her cervix towards her womb. Roseluck could feel the tongue wiggling within of her. Get rid of the of, and you could just put within her. Worming its way towards her full and wrapping itself around the fetus. Oh my God! What the fuck am I reading, man? She wanted to cry and vomit. Real? I wouldn't blame her! What the fuck is this shit? But she couldn't move a muscle. She was screaming in her head, just wishing that she was dead so that she wouldn't have to endure what was happening to her. Lily's face was filled with anticipation, drooling visibly dripping from her mouth and splashing on the cave floor. Oh, this is disgusting, man! When the fuck is this gonna be over? The tongue began to withdraw, and Lily could feel it dragging the fetus with it, tearing it from its safe, warm home, wrenching from its rightful place inside of Roseluck. I think I'm gonna puke, man! It slid through the birth canal, and with a swift yank, the fetus was served from the umbilical cord. Yeah, you guys can laugh at that if you want. I'll admit that was pretty funny, me trying to pronounce the word. And removed from Roseluck's body, enwrapped in Lily's disgusting extended tongue. The fetus was mostly stained red, and occasional patches of crimson and maroon. Its pony shape was clear, and Roseluck could see its miniature front and back legs, and dark patches where the eyes were meant to be. This is actually frightening, man. Could see its miniature front. It looked so tiny and helpless and pathetic. Roseluck watched with desperation as her foal was torn away from her. Lily dropped it at her hoofs, and her tongue retreated back into her mouth. The fetus was intact, but not for long. Lily stamped her hoof on it several times. Oh my god. Spurting out blood and viscera. This feels like an exploitation film. This is more of a rape fic. This is horrible. Oh, I can't wait till this is done. Until it was just a bloody pulp. She then gorged on the foal, moaning with almost orgasmic delight as she chewed the mashed fetus, devouring the taste. She ate slowly and deliberately, lapping on all the remains and licking the floor to make sure she hadn't missed any of the juices. Oh, I need a minute. What is wrong with these people? Why do they write shit like this? Seriously, okay, let's just finish this shit up. Once she had finished, she gasped with joy, and a trickle of fluid dripped from her vagina. Oh boy, she's getting turned on by it! Why am I not surprised? She stood panting heavily, overcome with ecstasy, and then started giggling uncontrollably. Roseluck looked on, completely broken. All she wanted was to die, because there was no way she could carry on living like this. The rape had been a violation, but this was beyond anything she had ever investigated in her worst nightmares. Lily had recovered and stared at Roseluck with a smirk on her face. You are livestock, Roseluck. Always remember that. You exist only to nourish me. That's all you will be, for as long as you can carry foals for me and suck out and feed upon. So, pretty much, Roseluck is only there to get raped, have a foal in her stomach, and then Lily is there to eat the foal. This is disgusting, man. Brayburn had not been able to see the events that had unfolded, and Brayburn, you wouldn't want to. But he had heard the slurp and the wet stamp of Lily's hoof as it crunched down on the fetus, but Roseluck had been forced to watch it, living every moment. The next day, Brayburn's food had once again been laced with whatever the hell that's supposed to be. That's not really what it said, but the word says so. Aphrodisiac. And he once again raped Roseluck. Roseluck didn't care about anything anymore. She didn't even try to kill herself. She lived to nourish or produce foal after foal to be livestock to serve Lily. There was nothing else, no. Nothing at all. The end. Fuck this fanfic. Oh my god, I've never read such a big atrocity in my life. Wow, you know what? This fanfic makes Cupcakes look tame. Think about that. This fanfic is a piece of shit. Oh, why do people write shit like this? This is not entertaining. This is horrible. This is something that someone does when he is only between drunk or just fucking insane. This is probably one of the most disgusting fanfics I have ever read in my life. Like, who knew something as horrible as this would actually be entertaining? Luckily, it's not well known, and I am happy about that. But it's still bad. Who writes shit like this? Sorry if this Christmas gift wasn't as good, was disturbing to you guys. And if you want to bitch about it, I wouldn't blame you, since that this fanfic was, of course, a piece of shit. So, I might as well end it here. Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Happy Holidays, everyone. This has been FireSkull 19. I will see you guys in 2012. See ya.